Well, I'm right in front of the camera. I hope you're getting a good view of my table. This is my Thanksgiving table. I'm going to try to describe some of the things to you and hope you like what you see. It's going to take a few minutes. I may wiggle the camera now and then. I'm real good at that. So you just bear with me, and we'll start on the corner here. First, I need to give you a little look at the tablecloth. This is one of those tablecloths I kind of think you buy it by the yard, and of course you have to do your own edging if you want a hem in it, but most of the time these work well without having to put a hem in them, and you can see the table through the tablecloth. Just very lightweight one. It seemed to be the one I thought would work best for this decoration. Now I'm going to get up and I'm going to show you the first table setting. If I can get up. Okay, here we go. I'll try to get out the way of the chair behind me, but I want you to see this. This is my favorite Lenox china. I found most of it in a Goodwill store. A lady was ahead of me looking at it, and I was waiting for her to finish. And when she did, she only left 2 plates, 2 of this, 2 of that. So I took them all because it was not the price that you expect at Goodwill. But I liked the china so well, I just had to go ahead and buy it. You see the little top dish? That is what we call a soup bowl. See the double handles? I wanted to prepare my harvest bisque soup, kind of orange in color when I do it. It's such a beautiful and smooth soup that is my favorite. I didn't get to make it, but that's what I would have put in this bowl. You can take hold of each handle with your fingers and drink it out of the cup. You don't have to use a spoon. You see the napkin on the side. I got quite a few napkins at an estate sale one weekend, and this is one of the napkins. It has a little design on one corner, and you can see the flower. Let's see if I can get a little closer. I tucked a little flower down in there, and there's my Fostoria napkin ring. Now take a close look at the design. This is gold with a deep wine red. I don't know why it appeals to me so much, but it seems like every time I do a table arrangement, this is the china pattern I reach for. It seemed to work. And you can see the charger on the bottom. I thought it went well with it too. So, okay, let's go to the corner here. I put a few things on the table for the things that I would serve for Thanksgiving. This one right here doesn't show up too well because the design gets in the way of the vegetables that are in the bowl. This is your 7-layer salad. Got a lot of cheese on top. It's got the mayonnaise with a little sugar, and it's got a layer of garden peas. It has your lettuce on the bottom. There's green pepper, celery, and onion, and carrots, all cut up inside. It's one of the best salads you can serve for a holiday meal. Everybody loves it. Down below, see the little tiny dish? I bought those recently. These things are hard to find, but I decided they were a perfect size for a butter dish. So I cut my stick of butter in little squares, and I put one at the corner of each place setting. They look really nice, and it's so much easier for the person to get to them to eat. These are little toasties. See if you can get a closer look. You've seen them near the cheese and crackers in the grocery store, and they're just about an inch square. They are one of the best things when you're serving a lot of people for hors d'oeuvres, and I think they're very good with the vegetable salad here. So anyway, I'm going to go on around and let's see what we get into. All right, you gotta have bread. You can't serve a meal without bread. And this is one of my dishes. It's not Fostoria, it's Whitehall, but it's on a pedestal. It's a good size for 2 to 4 people. So I didn't make the rolls myself. I just bought them and browned them a little bit, put a little cloth in the dish to make it look good. So here are the glasses. The glasses, again, are my Fostoria American. One is the water glass, one is the iced tea glass. They work perfect with this arrangement. Get a look right here. That is my Jewel Tea Autumn Leaf teapot. That's the teapot my mother had. You can see the lid. It's got the strainer inside where you put the loose tea. And my mother got that, I'd say, about 1950. And I got it too. So in the center, this took a while to do. I had to gather up all of my fruit and I put it in a great big basket. See if I can get it at an angle where you can get a good look. Got a candle on each side, and I decided it needed one right in the middle too. Okay, I'm wiggling a little bit because this holder is heavy. See all the artificial fruit, there are grapes and apples and oranges in there as well. But this is a large basket, and I decided it would be good under my chandelier. There you go. You come straight down, and there's the centerpiece on my table. Another place setting, 2 more glasses of silverware. And here's salt and pepper to the Jewel Tea autumn leaf pattern. The autumn leaf pattern went very well with the china. As you can see, the little red and gold leaf look around the border. Okay, let's see where else. You can see in the background, of course, everything just kind of stacked on top of each other with my cabinet. But I love my cabinet. I love my ironstone bowls. Oh, and I love my umbrellas. You know how that is. You get things like that, you can't let go of them. All right, on around. For a little color, I went back to the old-fashioned strawberry jello. I cut up my strawberries and sugared them, let them sit a while, and then I added them to the jello, and all those little round things you can tell are bananas. Don't you remember when you were a kid? The main dessert your mother fixed every week was jello with strawberries and bananas. And as far as I'm concerned, for an overall basic dessert or salad, you can't do any better than that. Here we go. These are the little fingerling potatoes. I boil them, cut them in half, and salt and pepper and butter them. I got the small carrot that you can buy in a package that you don't have to peel, and I cooked them. I cooked them in a little sugar water, drained them off, added them to the potatoes. This is an excellent dish for Thanksgiving Day. Another set of salt and pepper shakers, the glasses. There are serving bowls to go with the Jello salad. And you see the candle. Okay, the candles are sort of a sage green, I guess you'd call it. Now I'm going to try to get to the end of this table. Not easy to do because with the table opened out, it takes up most of my space. But there's my ice water pitcher. It's probably one of the prettiest pieces you'll find in Fostoria. But there's another little dish right here on the corner. I'm going to see if I can get a close look of it. It's a triangle-shaped dish. This is the small dish, but I also have the large dish. You see, these are antique spoons of varied kind. Each has its own purpose. I can't tell you right offhand what you use them for, but it doesn't really matter. If it works, it works, so you use it. There's another little butter dish. And let's see if we can go on around. I'm going to go back around. I just think that's so pretty. Just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I've had that fruit. Now, those are real grapes. And my orange is real, and somewhere is a Granny Smith apple, and all the other little things that you add to your fruit bowls. But couldn't do without my fruit, because it seems like every time I do any decorating, I've got to have something with fruit. I'm going to go on around. There's my bread again. And, oh, I can't wait to get into the 7-letter salad. Jan came by this afternoon. She brought me a gift, and I'm going to tell you about that one in another video because it's really something to talk about. So she came in, and she was in a hurry, and I told her I had 2 Cornish hens in the refrigerator that I had just had them in the freezer, and I thawed them and was going to prepare them and have them as a big dish on my Thanksgiving table. But a dish like that takes up so much room, I wouldn't have had room for all of the other little things I wanted to add. And I was going to make this table simple. Take a look at what I call simple. I'll get back in the corner here. So, see my turkey? Turkey got gravy in it. The gravy is for the potatoes and the carrots. Or I was going to add mashed potatoes and dressing. You can't get all those things on the table like this. So they're in the refrigerator waiting for me to just cook them and eat them. So Jan took my Cornish hens home with her. I said I've already thawed them from the freezer. They have to be cooked. So anyway, hopefully she'll get those done in the next day or two. But you see my turkey? I got that in the estate sale. Give anything if she'd had more than one, because they would just been perfect at each place setting for Thanksgiving. That's just a little glass of celery sticks. Now, things may not go together on this table, but I'm doing a table for looks, not so much as what goes with what when you're eating. If it's colorful and looks good, fits in the dish, I use it. That's for looks now, not for Thanksgiving dinner itself. Because Thanksgiving dinner itself, I would have dressing, I would have corn pudding, I would have sweet potato pudding. Well, you know what the rest is. because that's what you have every Thanksgiving Day. So anyway, here's one little dish. This is a little turkey dish. See his head? Those are little tomatoes. I'm not a tomato person. So when I buy tomatoes, somebody's got to eat them. So I'll be going to the antique shop in a day or two to see Jan. And when I go, I'll take her the tomatoes. Do you see that little turkey there? That's a little candle holder. See if I can turn it around so I can see I've got the little glass candle sitting down in that. I only have, I think I've got 3 of these, but I've just put 2 on the table. Only time they get used is Thanksgiving Day. So this is what you get to see. You wanted a table for Thanksgiving. I'm going to back up and see how much I can get in this picture. If I don't turn something over, I'm going to knock something over if I'm not careful. Okay, there's my ice water pitcher. You see my little turkey, my big basket of fruit with the candles, and the Splendor candles are in my Fostoria candle holders. I have about 3 different sizes of candle holders in Fostoria American, and these seem to always work best. Okay, you're looking at the back side of my turkey. There's the little dish with celery. Now, I need something to dip that celery into, but we'll worry about that on Thanksgiving Day. And there are the little toasties. They are wonderful with this. So you can't see much about you can see the carrots a little bit, but you can't see the green pepper and the onion and stuff. But anyway, everybody knows what goes in 7-layer salad, and it's as good as you can get. We always had Thanksgiving at Mama's house until after Daddy died. The family got too large, so we started going to my niece's house in Williamsburg because she had lots of room, and the whole gang gathered at her house for Thanksgiving. The men would all gather around the big dining room table, and the women gathered wherever they could find a chair. That the way women do, you know, they let the men go first. Or that's the way they did at my house. See, I keep that door open when I'm videoing because if I close it, it's nothing but a glare and you get a picture of me holding the camera in that glare. You know how it is when you've got a mirror around, it always catches your reflection. So all of the little pumpkin stuff in one corner is my fall decoration. So take a good look. I'm going to go back where I started from. Not going to give you any long stories, but I'm going to give you a closer look at my little turkey. He is so cute. And there's my salad again. Now I used a long Fostoria dish to put the big salad fork and spoon in it rather than putting it in the main dish. That way you could get your serving of salad and put the fork and spoon back in the tray that I put there. Look at this again. Keep in mind, this came from Goodwill. I can't imagine why anybody would let go of China that beautiful. But the other lady's probably enjoying her for Thanksgiving too, and I got the leftovers. But I was running 2 plates short, so I sent a picture of the one you see here, second from the bottom. And I said, Jan, see, this is on eBay. Order me 2 of those plates, and she did. So I've now got 5 plates. But again, there's my soup bowl. Excuse me, getting a little tickle there. I just love the old-fashioned soup bowls. So when you're looking at china, especially old china, I haven't noticed the soup bowls with the modern china, but I haven't been looking for it anyway. But if you do find china like that, try to find a set that has the pretty soup bowl. I'm gonna get real close. You get a shadow. But you can see the little design. There is no design in the center. I don't prefer designs in the center because they always get covered up, and I don't like picking my food out of the center of a plate when a little bunny rabbit or a bird looking up at me. I want the center of my plate to be plain so that I can eat all the vegetables. I think that's about, whoops, there's my finger in the way. Folks, that's the way it is. I put the gravy in the little turkey because I thought you'd be able to see the shape of the turkey better. Now, I'm going to leave with, I don't know if I can get the chandelier in here or not. No, I don't think I can. But we'll come down from the chandelier. You can look in the background, see all of my fiesta ware. Keep coming down, and all my artificial fruit. Now, there's real fruit in there too, so be careful when you reach in and decide to take a bite. Teeth might stick in that plastic, or you might get a real juicy bite of an apple. The silverware, oh, I found that silverware. No, that's not the silverware I found at an estate sale. This is silverware my sister got as a wedding gift in 1952. I don't think she ever used it. So one of my trips to her house, I said, can I have your silverware? And she handed it to me. So I like it real well. It's silver plate, actually, but I don't mind which it is. I prefer the silver plate because I feel like the sterling silver is so expensive, and I don't do a lot of entertaining and never have, that it's such a waste of money for me to spend several $100s on sterling silver when I can get a decent price on a pretty set of silver plate. And unless somebody asks, is that sterling, they're not going to know. So this is the final look right here. And this is my Thanksgiving video. I hope you like it. And I hope you have a really good Thanksgiving too. Jan and I have not finalized any plans yet, but it doesn't really matter. I even made the bold statement, I don't mind staying home watching a football game. Whoa-wee, I don't ever watch football games. I wouldn't know who was playing and it wouldn't matter. So I would just stay home and nibble on 7-layer salad, dressing, corn pudding, mashed potatoes, whatever goes with Thanksgiving. That's what you would see on my table. So you take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.